What's up YouTube? Jim here. Hope everybody is having a good day. Today I wanted to make a video and talk a little bit about CBD effects, as you can see here, and the onset time and how long it takes for different CBD products to hit you. Excuse me. And when you're talking about CBD onset, there's a couple different things you want to consider. There's a couple different factors you want to consider, main factors and then sub-factors. The main factors are going to be the person and the product. And then the sub-factors underneath person, you're going to have weight, you're going to have tolerance, and you're going to have metabolic rate. And then under product, you're going to have, as subcategories or sub-determining factors, you're going to have the type of product and the type of CBD. So let's start by talking about the products. With the type of CBD, when I say type of CBD, I'm talking about either regular CBD or nanotechnology CBD. And nanotechnology is not a new technology. It's newer to the CBD industry, but it's not new technology. Basically, in a nutshell, what it is you're taking the CBD molecule and you're reducing it to a nano, like a very small, it's just a lot smaller version of the original CBD molecule, equally as effective, but different in that because it's much smaller, the theory is that nanomolecule can pass through different barriers within the human body that the regular size CBD molecule cannot, which should make the nanomolecule work faster, more efficiently, and last longer. Personally, I've never had, let's say, like a 10 milligram gummy made with regular CBD and a 10 milligram gummy made with nanotechnology CBD, and tried them both under some sort of controlled study that allowed me to notice a definite difference in the two. And I don't know anyone else who's done that, but I know that the companies out there that are using water-soluble CBD, I think I might have said THC earlier. If I did, I apologize. If they're using water-soluble CBD or nanotechnology CBD versus regular CBD, a lot of these guys who are using the nano, they are preaching that it's the latest, greatest, and the best. Like I said, I'll do a video on it later after I have a little bit more personal experience with it, but for the most part, majority of companies that are out there are using regular CBD, regular extracted CBD oil or CBD products to create their product. And on the product side, you have, like I said, you have the type of CBD and you have the type of product. We've covered the type of CBD that, you know, we'll get back to that in a future video, but when you're talking about onset rate, the type of CBD product, that definitely determines the type of product that you're using. 100% determines how fast that CBD is going to hit you. In my experience and in the experience of people that have provided me feedback over the years, there's pretty much there's a few different categories that you can break CBD products down into. You have smokable, edible, and topical. For smokable, you're going to have CBD flowers. CBD flowers traditionally have been used, or hemp flowers have been used to extract CBD oil, and then that oil has been made to create other products. But now with the, not invention, but with the popularity of phytocannabinoid-rich hemp being grown as opposed to industrial hemp, there's a hemp product being created now that consumers are more than comfortable and more than interested in just smoking all on its own, and you get all of the beneficial effects of a CBD product, you know, just from the hemp flower itself. There are, on the flip side of that, you know, you have people who don't like it because you're saying you're smoking that plant matter, you're smoking, you know, chlorophyll and all the other crap that goes into it, and it might be safer to smoke or to vape an extract. But the CBD flower, the hemp flower itself, is going to be a very, very, very popular product in the coming years. You're going to see pre-rolls, and you're going to see just all types of pre-packaged eighths and ounces of hemp flower, quality flower. Different genetics are going to be perfected. And so you have your hemp flower. That's one way to take CBD. And when you smoke flower, it hits you right away. You inhale, you exhale, and you feel the effects like that. The other way, a second way to smoke CBD is to dab a concentrate, or to add a concentrate to a flower bowl. And you're basically taking the hemp flower, you're extracting the oils and the cannabinoids and the flavonoids and everything out of it. And when you take that oil, that CBD oil, and turn it into a dabbable product, you're just like smoking it, the flower, you're getting a concentrated version of that flower. So as soon as you inhale and exhale, boom, it hits you right away. Same with vaporizers, it's a concentrated version of the flower. So everything in the flower, all of the effective beneficial compounds and everything you're going to feel in the flower gets extracted into the vape. And when you inhale, you taste it, you feel it, you exhale, boom, you feel it right away. Now the downside, excuse me, the downside to smoking is it doesn't last as long. While it does hit you right away, it definitely does not last as long. So that's something to keep in mind. The second way is, in addition to smoking CBD, you have edibles. You have a ton of different types of edibles. First you had people using isolate, and they're perfecting different edible recipes using isolate. And now people have taken it a step further, and they're using different full spectrum and broad spectrum distillates to create just about every type of food product and edible product you can think of, with CBD included. Now, an edible, depending on the person, their metabolic rate and things like that we'll discuss here in a minute, edible CBD, the effects are going to hit you anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes, and some people say it takes upwards of 45 minutes, 60 minutes. I've even heard people say it took 90 minutes to hit them. So that's something to keep in mind. Everybody's different. Everybody's metabolism's different. Everybody's endocannabinoid system's different. So the way that it's going to affect you is going to be much different with edibles. With smoking, pretty much it's going to be the same among everybody. As soon as you inhale and exhale, you're going to feel it. But with edibles, it can be way different. You might have two people who are identical in size and weight. Two guys who are both 6 feet tall and weigh 200 pounds. They both take 20 milligrams. They eat 20 milligrams of gummies. This guy's going to feel it in 30 minutes. This guy might not feel it for 60 minutes simply because their metabolisms are operating at much different rates. So that's something to think about with tinctures. Now you have the little bottles. Definitely the most popular form of CBD on the market right now are the tinctures. And when you drop that oil in your mouth, you have to think about, if you swallow that oil, that's ingesting it, that's eating it, and it has to go through your digestive system before it enters the bloodstream, and then the bloodstream carries all of that CBD to the endocannabinoid system where the receptors bind with the CBD. So if you're eating it, that oil, it has to go through that entire system before it reaches where it needs to get before you feel it, versus if you drop that same exact oil under your tongue, hold that oil there for 30, 60, 90 seconds, and then it just, through I don't want to, not pores, I'm having a brain fart right now, the membranes under your tongue, the CBD is able to quickly enter your bloodstream and get to the CBD receptors in your endocannabinoid system. So keep that in mind when you're taking the oil. If you drip it and you swallow it, it's going to affect you much differently, and might probably take a lot longer to hit you versus if you drop it under your tongue. And then we have topicals. Topicals, in my experience, it depends on the brand. It depends on how they make it. It seems like everybody's recipe is a little bit different, and some brands, while they both are claiming to be using full spectrum oil as their active ingredient, I just feel like there's a big difference in quality and onset rate in identical types of products. Like Cream A and Cream B, both of them are making same manufacturing claims, and they both have completely different onset rates. I've noticed that when I'm using a CBD salve or a topical for an acute issue, I seem to get better effects than if I'm just using it kind of supplementally to overall make a general area feel better. So, and I've heard that same thing from a lot of people. But when you're using a topical, you can expect a 20 to 30 minute onset rate. That's the time that you're going to have to wait before you start to feel it. So in a nutshell, that's the product and the CBD effects. That's on that side of the pendulum when we're talking about effect rate and onset rate. That's how long it's going to take, or that's how long each one of those different types of products is going to take to hit you. Now, on the person side, on the people side, there's a big, that's a huge deciding factor. The person who is taking it, if they've never used CBD before, they have zero tolerance to any cannabinoids, that's going to cause it to hit them a little bit faster. Someone who's heavier, a bigger person versus someone who's smaller and lighter, normally that smaller, lighter person is going to feel it a lot faster. And someone who's got a very slow metabolism it's going to take a lot longer for that CBD to get through their system and get to the point where it needs to be so they can feel it, versus someone who, say, just has a metabolism that just chews through anything that gets put into their system. Also, in my personal experience, anytime, let's say I wake up first thing in the morning and I have no food in my stomach, when I take my CBD, doesn't matter if I eat it, smoke it, sublingually, I feel it immediately, versus if I've got a full stomach and I just got done eating, let's say I eat a couple gummies for dessert, or I smoke a little bit after dessert, it takes a little bit long, or smoke a little bit after dinner for dessert, it takes a little bit longer for that to hit me. So there's definitely, and that I'm assuming that has something to do with my metabolism. It has something to do with the rate at which the blood is already flowing through my body. I used to think that, or I used to assume that it would hit me faster if I had a full stomach, because digestion had already started, all of those juices are flowing, if you will, and it just mixes up the CBD faster. But that's not the case. Like I said, in the morning, first thing in the morning, when I'm hungry, either I smoke some CBD or I'll eat, just a couple gummies. I have a bit of a sweet tooth, so I eat sugar right in the first thing in the morning, and boom, I feel it right away. So that's just my personal experience. So I hope that helps you guys a little bit when it comes to understanding how and why CBD hits you differently and hits you quicker, hits you slower, depending on when you take it, how you take it, and who you are, that who the person is that's taking it. If you guys have any personal experiences that you want to share, use the comment section below. If you have any questions, any comments, any complaints about this video, about the CBD industry, use the comment section. I'll get right back to you. I will do my best to, like I said, research the nanotechnology as much as I can, and we'll get that video out very soon. For the CBD Seller, I am Jim. See you guys next time.